part of the story afterwards is we found out that Lincoln had a genetic condition, which is why everything happened the way it did, and that we had like a 25% of conceiving a regular, normal baby without any issues, which is not very great. So we did IVF, and that was a whole another experience. I could talk about that for like 8
Yeah.
while we were grieving, and also I'm still trying to run my business and figure out what I'm doing with everything, right?
Yeah.
Like, because running a business alone is stressful. It's like clients come in, clients come out. Like, there's so many different factors to worry about. But I guess looking back, the biggest thing was that I'm grateful for now is that I really didn't have to worry about my business because God was providing.
This week on the Buy Their Fruits podcast, I'm bringing you a very savvy business owner and amazing mom and an amazing member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Allie Glover. Allie is the creator and founder of a social media marketing agency, Goldie Social, and she also has two beautiful baby boys, Lincoln, who is with us Heavenside, and Beckham, who is with us Earthside. And Allie shares her story so beautifully today about navigating grief while also being an amazing, wonderful business owner. And so I'm really excited for you to hear her story today because this is something that almost no one talks about, but that is actually very commonly experienced. How do you continue to navigate running a business while in the middle of extreme trials, great trials? And so I'm so grateful to Allie for sharing her story with us, and also hoping that there is something inside her story where the Spirit will be able to speak to you about something you need to hear today. So here is my dear friend, Allie. Okay, Allie, first, tell us about you. What are you up to? What's exciting about your life right now?
Okay, well, my name is Allie Glover, and I am a entrepreneur of all sorts, to say the least. I'm always doing a million different things to make money for my family. I'm like you, Kaylin, like,
Yeah.
this. But
Yep.
my main business is called Goldie Social. It's a social media marketing agency for faith-based brand owners and businesses. Our whole goal and mission for people is to share their light online, make an impact, share your message, but also scale your business at the same time because that's important and God wants you to make money. And so that my whole business is an agency is built around that. And I have 3 team members right now who are amazing and support me. And I just love that. That is like the bread and butter what I mostly do.
Yeah.
But then photography and UGC on the side. So lots of content creation things, but everything's social media based. Social media is kind of my thing because, and you know what? My dad asked me this the other day. He's like, do you ever just get so drained in social media? Like, it's so bad out there. I'm like, no, I don't, because I feel like I'm surrounded by all the people who are sharing their light. And it can be such an uplifting, powerful place when you're in the right algorithm, right?
Yes.
So I feel like I'm here today for all those people who are in that algorithm, needing to share the goodness because there is so much darkness and so many terrible, scary things happening in this world that it's like, dang, we really need to share the light of Christ and to shine our light and like share our message because how else are we gonna defeat the address?
Somebody's got to.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So
that's
cool.
like my mission. I feel like where God has kind of led me to be is like just a light for people and like a resource for people to help share their light and share their messages online. Because we all have a message, right? We all have something in life that has led us to where we are, helped us build our testimony. And like the best conversations that I've had with people are when you get personal and open up and share about your stories, because then we need the realness out there.
Yes. And I'm privileged to already have a snapshot of your story, which I'm absolutely going to ask you about in just a minute. But before we do that, I want to hear what got you started with social media. And actually, I just thought of a second thing I wanted to say. Allie has several clients who I know of that have like millions of followers. Just to like toot your horn for you a little bit, Allie. She's really good at what she does. But tell me more about what got you started obsessed with loving social media.
And I don't know how much of this you know, but I started it for, like, my personal progress activity,
Did
like
you really?
I
Oh,
a social media page for it was called My Odious Inspiration. I'm pretty sure I still have.
stop.
And I, posted all these quotes. I'd go and, before Canva wasn't even a thing, so I don't even know, I used some random app, and I would put together little quotes of the temple and prophet quotes, and I would post them every day, and I did that for, probably, I'd say 3 or 4 years, and I grew
Oh
up
my goodness.
oh, and, I look back, I'm like, "Okay, so I was supposed to be doing social media the whole entire time."
Yeah.
I
How
just
old
had,
were you when you started that?
13.
That's
So, I
amazing.
know.
You
I
were
would
probably like one of the OGs. Was this on Instagram? I'm guessing it was Instagram.
yeah.
Like, you were probably one of the first
S when it was square
users.
filters and
Yes,
all the things, so
totally.
I was just this, 12, 13-year-old who grew the account. I think it was, 30,000 followers, which back
No
then, like,
way!
I was
It
like,
was nuts.
"Ugh." I never made any money off of it. It was just, a passion project that I had, and then, I got into high school and I started driving and I got busy and I just never posted on a page again. But that was, my first, I think, encounter with social media where God was like, "Yeah, you should probably be doing this," and, it just took me a minute to kinda come back to that because, I graduated college or not college, high school first, went on a mission, came back, COVID happened, got married, all the things, right? And so, that's just a lot. As you know, social media is a lot to handle. But yeah, no, I started by doing photography. It was around COVID times, right when everything shut down is right when I started.
Mm,
And from there, I was connected with just a sweet little influencer from Utah County who I started running her Instagram and all her socials, doing all her graphics, reels, all the editing and stuff. And I was like, "Yep, I love this." And she referred me to someone else, who referred me to someone else, and it just kind of exploded naturally in a way that I was like, "Oh, I could do this full time. I don't need to be working my corporate job anymore." So it just happened very, very organically. And I feel like God just led me to the right people at the right time, and everything kinda came back tenfold, if that makes sense.
yeah. I feel
So,
like that for me is, like, when things multiply like that tenfold, like, we know that's, like, a spiritual creation principle. Um, that to me is like a sign that I'm on the right path for right now, whatever that is in
working
that
and then
season.
right.
When it grows that effortlessly, it sounds weird to say that because it is not without effort, but more easily than trying to force it. Walk me through the timeline of leaving your corporate job, launching your own freelance social media services, and then Lincoln. Give me that timeline.
Okay, so, let's see, photography is 2020. I was still working my corporate job was a banking job, I was a banker, I did, home loans and all sorts of things, which I feel like I remember nothing about now, so don't ask me. I don't know how but I was doing all the social media stuff and photography, so both of those on the side, and it got busy enough probably in 2021 where I was like, "Oh, I think I need to go part-time at the bank because I need more, bandwidth to do all this stuff." This other stuff that at this point I was just doing, freelancing, I don't know what else you wanna call it.
Mhm.
To me, I didn't really feel like I was a business owner, right? I was just like, "Oh, yeah, I just do some social media and photography stuff." It was very much chill. And then it was April of 2022, I quit my banking job to do social media full time and go in full swing, which was so freaking scary for me. I was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure this is what I need to do?" I don't we just bought a house. We have a mortgage now. It has to work out. And I was terrified, more than I can even explain, which seems so
Mm,
silly now because it all worked out so great, right?
mm,
So, yeah, we bought a house, I quit my job and started doing social media full time and still dabbling in photography. I feel like I kinda got less and less in photography and more into social media at this point. And then that summer, I got pregnant with our first baby, and after that, I was like, "Holy crap, I need help. I cannot do this by myself." So I hired my first contractor, just like a team member to help me with, my workload and to hopefully help, when I went on maternity leave to just make it so that my business would run and I'd still be making money after having a baby, right? And that was my first kind of that's at that point, I was like, "Okay, this is legit a business. I know, like, I'm going all in at this point," right? It's always, like, weird. You have to, like there has to be some point where you coin a term for yourself, like, "Yes, this
Yep.
is yeah, I'm doing this," right?
Yep.
That was I think that summer when I got pregnant, that was when I kinda was like, "Okay, yep, we're a business, we're entrepreneur, we're going all in." So I did, and everything was going great. We had the best pregnancy up until about 31 weeks, and that is when every in my life blew up to shreds, quite literally. It ruined
What?
outside. We went to I just had this really strong prompting that I needed to get an ultrasound and see the baby, and I was like, "I don't know why, I just really, like" this is our first baby, and I asked my doctor, I'm like, "Well, can we just see him? Like, I really wanna see him." Like, I wasn't even supposed to get another ultrasound, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't know that that's how this started.
Yeah, no, this is how it started. I just had, like, this feeling of, like, I just wanna see him. Like, that's really all it was. It was like, "I'm just a first time mom, I'm excited, I just wanna see him." So I talked to my doctor, and she's like, "Well, like, I guess you're measuring a little bit small, so we can get you in with, like, the ultrasound people." So that's what happened. Like, the next week, we went in this is 31 weeks pregnant, and got an ultrasound, and they were checking everything, we saw the baby, and then, like, the nurse just went quiet, and I was like, "This is really weird." Like I just knew in my gut that something was wrong at that point, and so then they got the doctor and like, "We're gonna have you go see the doctor after this," and they, like, didn't tell me anything, and I was, like, freaking out, like, "Oh my gosh, the baby doesn't have a heartbeat," but I knew he did because I heard the heartbeat, so it was like, you're, like,
What
thinking
is going
forward
on?
details, what's
For
going on.
sure.
Um But yeah, so they found at that 31-week scan, they found just a bunch of fluid in our baby's brain. And so they were like, "This is really weird. This is sus. We don't know what it means." And I was like freaking out. They couldn't give me any solid answers. All they knew was like,
Mm,
"There's fluid in your baby's brain, and we're gonna send you
mm,
to some like the MFM maternal fetal medicine doctors, but they can't get you until next week." And I was like,
perfect.
"Cool. Now I'm just gonna like
Mm,
my child's gonna be born, like, brain dead or something."
yeah.
I literally knew nothing, like, Googling all the worst case scenarios. Fortunately, we were able to get in 3 days later because of, like, a cancellation, and they did, like, a full scan, and at that point, that's when, like, things got even worse. I was like, "Cool." And they found, like, abnormalities in his heart and, like, clubbed feet and all these things where they're like, "Hey, look, your child is probably not gonna be born alive." Like, it's too late to terminate, which we wouldn't have done anyway,
For sure.
but the doctor was literally like, "You just enjoy the time you have because you're gonna be in the hospital a lot, and this baby probably is not gonna make it." And so that was devastating, but I just knew, like, when you just have the knowing, and you're like, "I know he's gonna be born, he's gonna be okay." I just had this, like, reassuring knowledge of, like, "It's gonna be okay." Like, "You don't need to worry." So I was very optimistic at this point, and I was like, "Okay, it's gonna be okay." We went into all these specialist appointments, tried to get further diagnoses, trying to figure out when we're gonna deliver and all these things. And flash forward, this is all in the period of 2 weeks. So super fast. We went from good to like bad, like so fast, right?
Yeah.
At 34 weeks, we went in for a monitoring appointment and he failed all the tests that they do. I can't remember what the test is called. But there's a test that they can do for
Yeah. Like a stress test or
yeah, he
something
failed
different.
the breath test, and then there's another test after that, and he failed both.
Gotcha. Mm,
So, at that point, they're like, "We're gonna induce you. This baby's coming right now. If you want to meet him, this is your chance." So I was like, "Of course, go for it." So 34 weeks, 3 weeks after we
34.
found that out, I'm here having
Jeez.
a baby, right? It ended up being an emergency C-section, and I don't know, it's all a blur because I was so
Yeah.
medicated. It was traumatic, but I do know he
Oh,
was not like, they had to work pretty hard to save him to be alive at that point. So he was on a ventilator, and we were at Primary Children's, or he was, and we were blessed to get 10 beautiful days with him, which now is so crazy that we even got those 10 days is incredible because there were so many things not in our favor, and the doctors did not think he'd even survive birth, but he just proved miracle after miracle, like, God provided, right? And it's just crazy because looking back at it, because we didn't know how bad it was, right? I was just this naive new mom being like,
First
it's
time
like,
mom. Yeah.
you like, he's gonna be fine. I just know he's gonna get better." Like, they had some surgeries scheduled for about 1 month. I guess when he would have been 1 month old. They were gonna do a heart surgery, and that would have fixed a lot of the problems, right? Not a ton, because there was just some parts of his brain that didn't develop correctly, so we won't get too into that.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm, like, kinda losing my train of thought here. Yeah, we got 10 beautiful days with him, and that was just the craziest experience. I literally could write a book about all the miracles we saw at that
Mm,
point. That's would take 12,000,000 hours, so I'm not gonna do that. But, like, it was the most spiritual, miraculous thing of my life,
mm,
was Lincoln and this sweet little baby, because
mm.
he just changed the course of my life and who I am in so many ways, and really just changed everything for the better, which
Oh,
sounds crazy to think about when it's like, "Oh, your child died," but, like, it was also the best thing that ever happened to me.
oh
That
my
sounds really weird,
gosh.
right? Like, but it is, because God is so good, and it was totally his plan.
Mm. I also think it speaks to your credit to take a season like that and turn it into a message like that. Not a lot of people do that, and it is honestly really cool to hear. Like, when you said, "I could write a book about," I was like, my brain jumped forward, it was, like, about how chaotic and miserable and sad that time was, but the word that you used was all the miracles that we saw in that season, which, just talk about, like, light and sharing light. Like, it's so beautiful that that's the mission of your brand, but that's also just who you are. So, my question for you is, can you put a finger on some of the things that changed for you? We could talk about related to business or not, but, like, anything that you can think of that comes to mind where that experience was transformational for you and changed the way that you approach fill in the blank in the future.
Right. But it impacts literally everything, right? Because nothing was more important than being a mom. Nothing is more important than being a mom. And after that, I just felt this longing for my child, right? Like, after
Yeah.
he's gone, and that's just grief is crazy heavy and all these
Yeah.
things. But that was, like, my focus, is, like, I love my business, and I still need to do my business because that provides for our family, but how can I do it in a way that is going to allow me to operate with my grief and my sorrow and all the pain I'm going through, but also allow me to prioritize my life first with my family.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I guess that's the biggest way that it impacted things, because before then it was like, my business is everything. But then after that, it's like, the business is really nothing. Like,
Mm,
there are so many people out here suffering every day, and there are so many hard things about this life that, like, I don't know. I just knew I needed to do something about it, and that there was just more purpose to everything that I
mm.
that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. Was there anything specifically that you approached differently in regards to your business and the purpose of business that changed or transformed?
I'm Part of the story afterwards is we found out that Lincoln had a genetic condition, which is why everything happened the way it did, and that we had, like, a 25% of conceiving a regular, like, normal baby without any issues, which is not very great. So we did IVF, and that was a whole 'nother experience. I could talk about that for, like, 8
Yeah.
while we were grieving, and also I'm still trying to run my business and figure out what I'm doing with everything, right?
Yeah.
Like, because running a business alone is stressful. It's like clients come in, clients come out, like,
Yeah.
there's so many different factors to worry about, but I guess looking back, the biggest thing was that I'm grateful for now is that I really didn't have to worry about my business because God was providing. And I think that's because I was able to take a step back and prioritize my family and share my experience and connect with others. Like, I think when you're doing what he wants you to do, he's going to provide no matter what.
Mm,
And so, like, yes, he knows that my business is important to me, but because I was doing other things, like reaching out to other lost moms, and I I did a lot of things like a lot of things to help people in that community, that grief community, right?
Will you share a couple of those things?
And Kayla actually helped me with one of these in the company.
So cool.
I had like a vision to give all these moms, I call them like lost mom boxes, a Christmas gift for all the moms who are missing their little babies or have miscarried and should have a baby here with them like over the holidays because that is an experience that is just heart-wrenching and I don't wish upon anyone. So I just made all
Mm,
50, I can't remember. I think it was 50 boxes the first time. And I had people like donate to them. And so I could fund it, right? Like it was kind of a small side business venture because
yeah,
I didn't know, like, it's not like I had 5 grand just sitting around to pour
for
in
sure.
boxes, right? So I was able to raise all the money I need and get all those out and just like give back in ways that I didn't know were possible, but I know were limited by God and by Lincoln
Mm,
because I couldn't have done any of that on my
mm.
own.
Just the way like everything fell into one of those things, right? Where we like we were talking about in the beginning, where it just falls into place. Like my fingers in air quotes, effortlessly feels like not the
Yeah.
right word, but also like it just feels like it's almost like placed before you, I guess, is maybe a way to say it.
Like, he knows
Yeah.
you're willing and you're ready, so he's like, "Okay, here you go." Like,
Mm,
I don't know, that's how I envision it, but, like,
yeah.
he knows that you are working hard and putting in the work to get there. It's not like he's just
Yeah.
hand it to you,
Right.
have to do the work, but then the rest will come.
Yeah. And that was just one of the amazing things that you did that you still do for NICU parents and say a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, Lincoln, like I said, I think that experience, just hitting rock bottom, really put things into perspective and has helped me and my family, me and my husband really try to give back to other people who are in similar situations because it's so hard and there's a lack of resources, I think, for people, and it's
Yeah.
oh, better, right? But one of the things we do is called Lincoln's Legacy, and we do donations to of like stuffed animals, blankets, clothes, not clothes, but like pretty much
Yeah. Everything you would need in the
everything that
NICU.
he needs. And then every year on his birthday, we go and do a huge donation. Like it's huge. It's like thousands of dollars worth of stuff. And it just like I know it impacts so many people, and I don't see the fruit of that, right? But, like, that doesn't matter, that's not the point, and it's just something we do because God wants us to, Lincoln wants us to, and we want to, right?
Mm.
And so I feel like, I guess to kind of pivot this back to business, the way that that hard experience changed my life, it changed it in a way where everything's more service oriented of, like, how can I help support other people? How can I help them in their time of need? And I feel like that's what, like, almost my mission is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
To, like, help people share their story, right? Because everyone has something that someone else can benefit from. And if we
Yeah.
can put it out online, like, you will meet the right people will come, and I've seen that again and again just from experiences on social media, like, right? I found you through social media, right?
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
just find the right people at the right time that you need.
Yeah.
Which is such an incredible concept.
Yeah. I want to talk about Beckham next, but I just have one more question that I want to like soak. I want to like squeeze all of the juice out of the wisdom that you've gained because of one of the most fiery furnaces that a person can go through. But I'm curious if you can describe for me what the process is like for you, like receiving an idea from heaven, like, hey, Allie, I need you to go put together these lost boxes, or hey, Allie, I need you to do Lincoln's Legacy and do this and this. Like, if I was a fly on the wall in your house, what would I see? Like, would you be up late at night? Would you be like scribbling in your journal? What happens for you?
Yeah, the way I receive revelation and God speaks to me is it's very just, like, straight in my heart, in my head, like, clear, like, "You need to do this." And, like, if it's something that I really need to pour my attention to, like, it will not go away. It just festers, and I
Mm,
keep on thinking of it until, like, I acknowledge it. And so I've learned to just acknowledge it, like, as soon as I can because I know that's when God's speaking to me. I can talk about learning that process all like, forever and a day because
for
it's
sure.
key, right?
Yeah.
And but no, a lot of it is just praying like, "Hey, can you help me figure out what to do next? Like, what's the next exact thing that I should do?"
Yep.
Because I have no idea.
Yep.
Like, I genuinely don't. Like, I don't know what I'm doing half the time or any
Yep.
so it's
I feel the
like,
same.
I have to ask God, like, "Hey, lead me like, what is the next step? What is the next thing that I should do?" And sometimes that's like, "Hey, reach out to this person." And then I don't know why I'm reaching out to them, but I reach out to them, and then suddenly they give me a resource that I need to do this, or I had so many crazy experiences, like, with this, but, like, I'll give an example. There was one day where I was on a walk and I was like, "I really need to go to the library." So we went to the library and I ended up meeting this girl who was going through a rough time in her business and needed help with socials. And it was just this random
Mhm.
connection, but like we both were able to help each other in that scenario. And now we're like super great friends. But like I wouldn't have known to go to that library and I didn't know that that was going to lead to further things. Right. So it's like,
Yeah.
what is that next thing? And just be very like I'm just try to be very aware of like, okay, what are these thoughts? Like usually it's ideas that I would not think of myself.
Mhm.
That makes sense because I'm
Yep.
not a very social person. I'm not like, let's go to the library. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'm not. So like I just have to be very aware of like, okay, what is me wanting to do? What am I wanting to do? And like what is God wanting me to do? And sometimes they're the same thing, so it's hard,
Mhm.
right? But sometimes it's not. And then I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm blindly taking actions or taking steps, trying to figure out what is the right thing, right? Like, because
Yeah.
I feel like I'm painting a picture where everything's perfectly handed to me. It's not because
Right.
I'm over here drowning and flailing for answers. Like, oh, I'll try this. Oh, I'll try this. Let me try this. Right.
Yes.
I think there is an important part for people to realize that it is trial and error too.
Yes.
That is part of the process. I think
Yeah.
that, and like, eventually you'll have tried enough that like you'll latch onto the right thing, and then
Mhm.
pieces will come in, right? Like,
Mhm.
that's how like, at least for me, that's how I know that it's right.
Thank you so much for saying that because I feel like a lot of women who I talk to who have a desire on their heart but haven't taken the first step on it yet. I think all of us have ideas like that in our heads too. So this is not like a us or them type thing, but I think there's some amount of faith required to even take that first step, but also I think not enough business owners are talking about what you just said, which is that just so you know, it has not been a straight stair-stepping path where I just show up one day and I have this huge successful business. It's actually pretty messy most of the time. At least I'll speak for myself
99
in that
point nine
regard.
percent of the
Yeah,
time.
like
Not 100.
it is not, I don't like to say hot mess, but it wouldn't be a stretch to call it,
Oh, no,
you know?
right.
So I think this is so helpful for the ladies who are listening who have the thing on their heart and they may even like have an awareness like I know that's the thing. I just need to try it and let myself try it. Like that really is the answer. Unfortunately, it really is. You just have to let yourself
And
try
I
it.
failed after trying. So,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
can't be afraid to fail because that's how we learn. Like,
Yep.
just because you fail 5 times doesn't mean that's not what God wants you to do, right? It's all part of the learning process. Like, you
Yeah.
will get there, and if like, you will. That's just it. You will.
I think I've probably heard a quote like this. This is not my own idea, but it was something to the effect of like the people who you are comparing yourself to and thinking like, why am I not there yet? They've probably tried and failed 10 times more than you have. Which for me helps me with comparison. If there is someone who I'm like, "Oh, how did she get there and I'm not there yet?" It's like, oh, that does kind of put it in perspective. Like she probably has done more scary things than I've done. So I can release the judgment that I have on myself and maybe also loosen some of the fear that I have about failing or messing up or doing it wrong because that's actually what this person did to get there. Whether they're saying that publicly or not, they probably aren't. So that's just a little nugget that helps me out.
No, I agree.
So with
So
that being said, tell me about Beckham and that experience of getting Beckham here and what life is like with Beckham now.
yeah, so Beckham is our rainbow baby and our IVF baby,
Mm,
and he is, like, the light of our life. He is just a bundle of energy, to say
the
the least.
best.
But yeah, we did IVF. We had, like, we right? We knew it was one of those things, right? We tried, we did a transfer, it failed, like, you never get what you want right when you want it. That's just the story of my life. But then we waited and tried again, and it led to our sweet baby, Beckham, and he is about to turn 2, which is crazy. That's beyond me, honestly. Yeah, and Lincoln would be almost 4, so it's crazy to think I would have a 4-year-old
Yeah.
someday.
Yeah.
That's a whole rabbit hole we don't go down, and but it's more than enough.
Yeah. Oh.
Like, he makes up for all, like, he basically has 2 children in one, but I don't know how he does.
Oh my gosh.
He is, like, the light of my life, and since having him right after I had him, I decided that I was gonna go full in and launch instead of freelancing, or I guess freelancing, being, like, my own person, I launched my agency, Goldie Social. So now, like, from there, I feel like I have built a business and a brand that is motherhood focused because all my 3 team members are moms. They all have 1 or 2 little kids that, like, under 2. They're all, like, in the thick of
Love
it,
that.
right?
I love that.
And I feel like a lot of our clients too are parents or have new kids or older kids. There's a range, right? But, like, I just feel like I'm in a phase now where it's like I get the 2 best jobs in the world. I get to be a mom, and then I get to bless people through social media, and, like, it doesn't get better than that.
That
So
is
I'm
so
very,
cool.
very grateful for where we are, even though it is harder than all get out.
You're speaking my language. You know, I am no stranger to this. Actually,
Uh,
can we dive into that a little bit? Because I think a lot of ladies listening, there is a season of life when your kids are older, and there's a season of life when they're not, and it's just different. Like, again, not like a us versus them type thing. It's just it's different, right? So, can you speak to a little bit about I actually have two questions. I'll start with the first. Did you feel any discomfort in being a working mom? Or was that natural, easy, not weird for you?
I mean, a little bit of discomfort, but only because it was just like, "Oh, I feel like, should I feel guilty that I'm pouring stuff into my business?"
Yep.
Right?
Mhm.
Like, you're like, "I know the mom is being the most important thing, so, like, am I doing my child a disservice by working so hard on my business?"
Yep.
But the answer that I come back to again and again is, "Nope, you're absolutely not." Like, you need to be doing both, and that's what makes me happy, right? I think I would be a lot less happy if I didn't have an outlet that was creative for me to pour in to help serve my family, right?
Yep.
And so, for me, that's the right thing. Is that the
Yep.
right for everyone? No, but I really always have to go back to the instinct of like, "Okay, God planted this business, he gave me this," right? Like, I feel like he gave me this business to be like I could have stewardship over this business. Like, it's really
Mhm.
not mine. Like, I truly
Love
give
that.
creative kids. Um, but and he's gonna like, as long as I'm what I've learned is from trial and error yet again, is that when I am putting my family first, my business is going to be taken care of. If I try to go too far into my business and get, like, lost in it, things are not gonna go well in my business, and that's just what I've learned,
Yep.
for me because I need to prioritize God and my family first, and if I don't do those 2 things, then it manifests, and my business, like, blows
Mm,
up and is terrible. And
interesting.
where it all comes back to bite
Yeah.
me. It's just a lesson that I've learned is like, yes, you can have your business, you can have your cake and eat it too, but like, remember me, I'm most important, your family's most important, and if you do those things, I will take care of the rest. And that's kind of the theme that I have kind of learned the last 2 years being a mom to Beckham. So
Yeah. I had a second question, but it left me. Let me see if I can remember it. Or is there any secret sauce that you have that you want to share with the people who are managing, especially managing young kids, like all motherhood, but especially managing young kids in a business? What's worked really well for you?
I have a nanny. She is my secret sauce.
Same.
Quite really. And, like, I don't know, we're in a very, very busy phase of life right now. Like, my husband's working his 9 to 5 and doing his master's program,
Mm,
and I have my business and am a mom, and my business is a lot. It's demanding.
it's a lot.
Like, right? Having 3 employees is a lot. So, it's just, like, it is very stressful, and I could not do it without God and my nanny.
That's the soundbite we're going to take from this clip. You know, I feel the same way.
I know.
Can we talk about hiring a nanny? Because again, we're in this season. Did you feel any weirdness about hiring childcare?
Oh, yeah. I was like, it's definitely one of those things that you kinda have to get past mentally, but
Yeah.
and, like, it's scary, right? It's like taking another step of faith. You're like, "Okay, is this gonna work out? Am I actually
Yeah.
gonna this?" But it has been the best thing, and my child loves our nanny. She's actually in Europe for 2 weeks right now, and he keeps on asking where Nanny Sophie is, and I'm like, "Oh,
Oh,
here, sorry." You're which yeah. But yeah, no, it's been a blessing to, like, have just extra support and because not everyone can have family that's close, right? Like,
right.
my parents work, so it's not like they can
Yep.
watch my child for me all the time. Some
Yep.
people are you do have that support, right? So, use the support that you have, and if not, make support. Make support happen for you. You can't try to do it all by yourself. You can, but you're gonna burn out a lot faster,
Yep.
and it's not
Yep.
good.
Can you share a little bit about like how many hours did she come? What does your work schedule look like? I know the we're all dying to hear this kind of information. If you were thinking about
Yeah,
hiring childcare, like give us the behind the
yeah.
scenes peek.
For me, we found the sweet spot is her coming about 15 hours a week.
Yep.
So, like, 15 hours of uninterrupted, I get work done, and
Yep.
I get so much more done in those 15 hours than I probably would in, like, working 40 hours trying to
For
manage
sure. Yeah.
time. I don't know, moms are superpowers, like, have superpowers because, like, yeah, what you can get done with, like, uninterrupted time is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like that just time has been everything, and it's just good to have some alone time, and I use a lot of that time too to, like, read my scriptures and
Yeah.
things like go to the temple because, like, my husband's never home, and
Right.
gotta make time somehow, right? And so sometimes
Right.
battle of like, okay, if I do these things, is it going to impact my client load? Like, am I gonna be stressed out of my mind later? And I always think that that will be the answer, but then it always works out. So, God will provide. That is kinda like my message.
Yeah.
God will provide. So, yeah, she comes for 15 hours a week, and then other than that, I probably do end up working about, like, 25 hours a week, and then the rest is just during his nap time
Nap
after.
time,
So,
late nights, early mornings, all the above.
exactly.
Yeah, I feel that. I had a really good question for you again and it left me. I'm going to ask this question. Is there a verse of scripture that you can think of that captures your vibe of business or something that you think about a lot or that gives you a lot of faith and hope as you're building a business?
Ooh, that's a good one. I should have picked one out before because 'cause I'm not, like, good at
It's
scriptures, like,
okay if it's just
never
like a
go for it.
quote or a phrase that you think of a lot. That's amazing too.
Let me look. Let me cut this part out.
Mhm.
Well, I guess the one that is coming to mind is from President Nelson when he says, like, "When Christ is the center of everything," like, when you're what is it? When the joy is centered around Jesus Christ. You know that one?
Yep.
Like, I can't think of it word for word, but I feel like that pretty much encapsulates what I'm trying to I'm gonna find it. 1 second. Mm, maybe. I literally can't find it. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that one.
I feel like it's basically what you've been talking about this whole time, right? Like,
Yeah, I just wanna read it. That's why I'm like, "What is it exactly?" It does. Oh, it's the joy has nothing to d or little to do with the focus of our lives, but or no, with circumstances of our lives, but the focus of our lives, right?
yes.
The joy has little to do with the circumstances in our life, but the focus of your life. So when your focus is on Christ, you
Mm,
will feel joy. And that is how I feel joy in the depths of, like, parenting a toddler who is crazy, and I'm trying to manage a business and things are blowing up all the time with so and so client, right?
yep.
All things where I'm like, "I literally cannot do this," but I'm still able to feel just the peace I need to get through and the joy, right? And that's the same concept with when we had Lincoln, like, because we focused our efforts on Christ, like, I was still able to feel joy. Should I feel joy that my son died? Absolutely not, but do I? Absolutely. And the whole reason I do is because we have a savior that loves us so much and, like, is here to support you. And to take that away, like, you don't have to feel miserable if you don't want to. You can be, like, the most miserable situation ever and still feel joy, is what I'm trying to say. And,
Mm,
like, not to say any of your lives are miserable, but we all go through miserable stuff, right? But we cannot control the circumstances we go through because it just happens. And if you keep one thing the same, and that is your focus on God, our Savior, Jesus Christ, your family, and the things that matter most, nothing else matters because it will all come together. It will all work out exactly like it should be, and you will still be able to feel joy. So, I guess that's my summary of what I've talked about today, and I feel
yeah.
like that encapsulates it well.
I also just want to say, as you were saying that, like, sometimes I actually think about this a lot in, like, testimony meeting. There's something different when someone bears their testimony like what you just did, knowing that what you just learned came from what it came from, like, the life experience that you have walked through that has given you that insight, like, it it sounds kind of, like, dramatic to say, but, like, is piercing to my soul right now, like, hearing you, someone who's been through the most fiery of furnaces, like I've already said, be able to say that there's still joy and that the Savior can help is it just means a lot to me, like, full honesty, Allie, like, you've probably been through harder things than I've been through. I've never lost a child, and, like, say prayers constantly that that would never happen to me. I don't know what I would do. So I just want to thank you for sharing your light so generously and that your light is so bright because of your story. And just, I just think that there is no better testimony than that, than a person who has lived through something like that and can still say some of the things that you can say is pretty amazing to me. You're
It's
welcome.
definitely not easy, but
Yeah,
we're just so grateful. God is so good.
that was perfect. Is there anything else on your mind you want to share?
I don't think so. Just a message to the listeners that, like, you got this. God planted like an idea in your heart for a reason, and you can change the world. So go do that. Go make an impact. I know it can be freaking scary and freaking hard, and it is. It is for all of us. But it will be so worth it, and the impacts that you're going to be making on probably generations and generations to come is insane. Like, we literally do have the power to change generations through social media, and because I believe that that content we're putting out just impacts not only the people now, right? But, like, it will live on, and the good things you say and the good things you help people now are gonna help so many more people. So be that ray of light for people and just do the hard thing. Just jump off and do it because God will provide and you'll find a way. So I hope that helps you because I know that message always helps me when
Mm,
I'm feeling nervous or all the things.
yeah, so good. I couldn't have said it better. So good. Thank you for this. I just think you're amazing.